What's up, everybody? This is Thomas Tran with JConcepts. We're here with last night's grand champion, the winner of the 2 IFMAR World Championship title last night. It was an amazing race. It's been a long time coming. Everybody at home and all the social media stuff that I've read and everybody I've talked to are like, Ryan Maifield is the most deserved winner that hasn't won yet, and now you finally got that monkey off your back. How does it feel?
Yeah, obviously feels amazing. I've had the opportunity to win a lot of these world championships, and I haven't gotten the job done, either driving error or mechanical failure, something bad. So, for everything to go the way it went yesterday, from the start of the day through qualifying to in qualifying on, with TQ, starting with a 9 and a 12 in my first 2 rounds, wasn't looking good, and then ended up TQing and able to keep it out front, for the first 2 mains. I know I have a lot of support at home, and I appreciate everybody's kind words and thoughts and stuff. And I'm very happy and thankful that yesterday went really well. And I can say I'm world champion now.
Yeah, finally. So, how many years were you trying to get that world title?
I was just counting with Ryan actually, because we were saying we've been to a lot of these, and my first was in 2005, so I've been to every single one except we didn't go to South Africa.
Yeah.
At every one I've been, starting up front. I've TQ'd 3, and I finished on the podium at basically, almost all of them. I didn't at Yatabe on the AstroTurf, and I've been proud of that. I've been proud that every time I go, I'm competitive and I'm fighting for the win, and it just hasn't happened. And I knew it can happen. I was thinking maybe it never will, because there's not too many of these left,
Yeah, after a while, you're wondering is it going to happen.
Yeah.
This year, obviously, you switched teams to Team Yokomo. Joe Pillars came on board, just recently.
Yep.
And has that made a difference in how you were able to perform and get this monkey off your back?
Obviously, I think the whole team had a lot to do with it. Since I've switched to Yokomo, we've really worked well together. They're very open to hearing my ideas and Lee's ideas and the other drivers' ideas. And Joe's only been with us for a week leading into this, and we've worked together really well in the past with Team Orion, and I've been friends with him for going on, I don't know, almost 20 years, I bet.
Does that help the chemistry, being friends with somebody for so long and then being able to work with them and go for a common goal like win a world's title?
Yeah, I mean it was just kind of a no-brainer. We instantly we knew how each other worked.
Yeah.
And he kind of just slipped into the position of helping me, helping the rest of the team. He's not just here for me; he's here for the whole team and everybody.
The timing was just right.
Yeah, I think this is all just kind of happening at the right time, and the chips are coming together. We have a lot of new parts for the car that made the car quite a bit better, especially for the tough conditions, and growing the brand, getting the wheels rolling in America, and bringing Joe on board to help with that. And then this happened yesterday, and it's all really good timing, and we're very thankful for it.
So let's talk about the tough conditions for those who have been paying attention or those who haven't. When we got here, this wasn't one of your favorite tracks at all, I don't think.
Still isn't.
It wasn't easy. The jumps were, obviously they shaped the jumps to go both ways.
Right.
So there's not a lot of lift. We're not used to kind of those type of. I don't think anybody really is used to those type of jumps. But the grip was super high. The tires were wearing out quick, and then all of a sudden it rained. And I think at that point, things kind of changed.
Yeah, I mean, through practice, when the track was really high bite, we had pretty decent speed. It was just a lot more difficult to not crash. And still, I mean, nobody was putting together clean
nobody
runs.
was. Yep.
And we were thrashing. That's trying to get the car to work, making tons of changes each run. And then we came back and it had rained. We had to start from square one. So we go into qualifying, pretty much blind. And like I said, it didn't start well. And Lee came out going really fast, and that gave me confidence. And like, okay, well, the car can do it.
I think in the first qualifier, you were outside the top 10.
Yeah, I got a 12,
A 12, and then I think like a 9 or something.
Yep.
And then something happened. All of a sudden, you started TQing. You were, what I've always seen is just doing the Mayfield thing, out there going fast and just throwing down some hot laps.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly had to, bite my pride a little bit and resort to talking to my team and figuring out what Lee had done to his car. And, I slowly started kind of working my way there. We didn't end up on the exact same setup, but we did end up really close. You know, I kind of, when my back's up against the wall, I've always been able to, luckily I've been able to just find a way to make it happen, and I think that's what I did in that third round of qualifying, because I knew, you know, there was only going to be 2 more. I had to get 3 solid runs, and it was a super close race. You know, I beat my teammate by a couple tenths of a second for the TQ.
2 tenths or something like that.
Yeah,
it was close.
Yeah, and then we went into the next round, and I got a 3. And I still had I didn't know I even had a shot at TQ. And then I go into the next round, and I just did what I could do. I just drove the best I could. And I TQ'd, and then they're like, oh, you're top qualifier. I'm like, oh, cool.
So it was a shock. You didn't even know.
I talked to Joe, and I'm like, man, I don't even know what happened today. You know, I'm like, I came into the day just hoping to, like, start in the top 5, and I ended up TQing and winning. Just like, you know, it kind of just, I was rolling with the punches, and then I got into a good rhythm and ended up being awesome.
Let's talk about the mains in A1. Truthfully, how nervous were you? Because obviously, like in the past, you've been TQ before and it hasn't worked out. So obviously that idea or that mindset was somewhere had to be hovering around.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly just kind of sat down a couple times throughout the day after I learned I was TQ.
Yeah.
And I just kind of went over everything that's happened at the Worlds. You know, like you said, I've started first a few times.
Yeah.
And most of the time at the 10-scale Worlds, it's because, you know, I'm going in so nervous. I drive so tight. You know, I'm trying to do lines. You know, typically I'm the guy that's like doing a crazy jump. That's why I'm faster than other people.
Yeah,
and then yesterday, I just focused on corner speed, and I wasn't jumping a jump.
Yeah, you know, typically, like you were saying, your style is going, you know, super fast, doing the crazy jumps, and going all out, leaving it all on the track. But at this Worlds, you were reserved. You were the first one to do the double, single, double, and you stuck to that the whole time, which is really impressive because other drivers started doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely not faster, but it was not enough. It wasn't a big enough difference in speed to make you have to jump the jump.
Right.
You know, I was using the jump as a corner instead of focusing on the corner as a jump.
Right.
Because it's a corner with a jump in it. So I was just following the race line, scrubbing as much speed as I could, and then just focusing on getting on the straightaway as fast as possible,
carrying that speed back in.
Yep.
And that's what you've noticed if you watch the videos. They'd catch right on your bumper on a single, and they would jump to a double. And I think Cavalieri did that a few times.
Yep.
And then, but then you would actually start gapping them once you doubled out because you could take a cleaner, more precise line instead of taking it mid and then coming onto the straightaway.
Yeah, I could just line right up, tight up against the last doubles pipe to where I could get the best angle coming on the straightaway, kind of bleed wide, and then set myself up good for the end of the straightaway. So, you know, I wasn't sure if that was going to work. I just knew that I had to get through the infield better than the rest of them.
Yeah.
And then I was going to lose some time on the jumps. And, you know, I knew my game plan. I wasn't going to change. And I didn't, and it worked.
And in A1, you know, like the gap was actually pretty decent. And then you crashed on. I was videotaping this, so I was super nervous on the second floor.
Yeah.
And you crashed on like that double section.
Yep.
And then I could barely even hold on. You know, my heart skipped a beat, and I was like, oh my God, no.
Yep.
You know, but it worked out. You tenths ahead of Lee Martin that time. Yep. And then going into A2, what was your mentality then? Like, how did you feel? Like, what was your game plan?
Yeah, I didn't put much value into that crash. You know, I was one of the
Kaito, I think your teammate.
Yeah, it was a really good marshal, thankfully, and luckily it was a teammate, and he was quick. You know, young kid.
If it was somebody slow, like
yeah,
a dude
maybe.
that dude that was messing up at the end of the double, like at getting on the straightaway.
I mean, you have to have a lot go your way to win a Worlds, and if
You've
that was my
that.
lucky break, then I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know, and I've watched a lot of people win these on a way bigger, luckier break than that. So, but yeah, going into A2, I sat down and I just went through. Okay, you know, you've won A1. I've won A1 before.
Yeah.
I won A1 in Japan, and you know, you go into A2 and you're just like, well, you obviously want to win, but if you put too much emphasis on, you know, the pressure and all the, you know, everything that goes into the Worlds,
you can
psych yourself out.
Yeah, for sure. So you just took it calm, cool, and collected, and I think that's probably like the largest margin one of the A mains has ever been won at a Worlds. I mean, that was huge.
Well, that's just how this track is. You know, if one guy can get out and get in a rhythm. and the guy that's chasing, because that was my goal. Is somebody has to chase me,
Right.
because then they're under the pressure, and if they can make a mistake, then I can settle down. And Cavalieri almost got by me on the first lap.
You had a great race with him there for a couple of minutes. It was impressive.
I knew I had to stay in front of him.
And coming on the straightaway, you were side by side, and you were thinking, "I'm not letting him. This is it."
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to do anything dumb, but once I got next to him on the straightaway, I knew I had the preferred line. I know he's a great racer, and he was gonna, he wasn't going to do anything to cost us
both
on the first lap. If that would have been the second to last lap, for sure, I knew he would be more aggressive. But it was the first lap, and luckily I got there, and then I got another lap in, pulled a little bit ahead, and we battled. We were close for a while, and then he made a mistake, and I was able to maintain the lead.
Now that the monkey's off your back, do you feel like I'm gonna win a bunch of more of these, or is it because I feel like it's just gonna open the floodgates a little bit here?
Well, no, I don't feel that way. I feel I'm very lucky and honored that I've been able to achieve this, because it is so difficult, and I've lost it in every way possible, like I said. And if I win more, awesome. I'm just happy that I'll be able to say I'm a world champion for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Which is honestly an honor.
Yeah. So if you could trade, I mean, like, obviously you're a nitro guy too. Would winning a nitro title be as highly cherished to your heart as a two-wheel title?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Which would you, if you could pick one, which would you pick?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think the A-scale worlds, I think, are perceived to maybe as a little more prestigious.
Yeah.
But the electric stuff, the electric 110 scale it's a lot more precise. I think you have to be able. I mean, yesterday we were driving on an A-scale track with a two-wheel drive buggy.
Yeah.
And
not easy, especially with the jumps and the conditions. That we had. It was.
So I mean, obviously, any world championship is very good. And but I think they all are very special, and I wouldn't trade this for anything. And I'm proud. Like I said, I'm proud of my history in the world. I've done really well in A-scale, and we'll go into next year and just see what happens at the A-scale worlds next year.
In Perth. So let's talk about Jason Rona. Before I left to come here to China, he was telling me, or I was telling him, hey man, you might regret this. You regret not coming. And he told me, he looked at me and goes, well, I hope I do. And he shook my hand, and he's like, basically, see you later, So I'm thinking he pretty much regrets this, yeah?
Well, I mean, I don't.
Did you get a chance to talk to him afterwards?
Yeah, actually, this morning, me and Ronnie were out early, and we were talking to him on the phone a little bit. So, yeah,
he's got to be stoked, yeah.
Yeah, he's super happy, and he he has things going on at home that prevented him from coming here, and it's all good. He's not here. It's a bummer he's not here.
Yeah.
But
you've obviously had a long history with JConcepts and Jason Rona himself.
Yep.
Probably from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And now that he's with you from the beginning, but you've also been with JConcepts from the beginning, and you've watched it change over the years from a little workshop he had in his garage to what it is now.
Yep. I was running some of the first bodies he was making in his garage, and I'm very proud that I've been a small part of that company being what it is.
I would say a huge part.
Well,
yeah.
Whatever.
Huge part. Okay.
So, I'm proud I've been there for so long. That doesn't happen all the time.
No.
People don't stay with the same, a certain company for so long. And I'm honored to run for JConcepts. We've had our ups and downs, and we've done it together, and we've made it through. And we've won the biggest races you can win.
Yep.
And that's it's been a lot of fun. So, of course, he wasn't here for my biggest win, but he was watching at home, and
he's got the space. Yeah, he was up. He texted me. He was like, "F yeah!" I was like, "Oh, dude, he's excited." I know he's excited. I know he wished he could make it here with us and share this victory with you. And it is what it is. But I'm sure there'll be more to come. It's just one of my feelings. And I've been watching racing and at the top level now for the past probably 3-4 years. And, this guy, I've always referred to him as the fastest man on the planet. It's one of those things that what James Stewart has, his little nickname. But in the world of RCs, Ryan Maifield, to me, is the fastest man on the planet. And he proved it yesterday, last night. Did you guys do anything special last night to celebrate?
Not really. I'm kind of trying to just keep it calm here. I've also made the mistakes of thinking I'm too cool and go party all night. So no, we just went to a nice dinner, and
Cool.
you know,
Team
we had
dinner.
a few drinks and back to bed, you know, because business isn't done. So
Yeah.
we got another class, and we're here today prepping tires and getting ready for four-wheel drive.
Yeah, so four-wheel drive. Let's talk a little bit about that. You got basically a new car.
Yep.
The YZ4 SF.
Yep.
I've seen it run at some of the races so far. It looks really impressive, and yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, we have like you said, we have a brand new car. I've been running the prototype version of it for the last few months at the Nationals in Surf City, and I've had some good results. And we're here with a full-blown production car, and we ran it at Hobby Action for about a week, and you know, got it really good. I came here way more confident with my four-wheel drive than I did with my two-wheel drive. So hopefully, you know, that continues. I think the car's going to work really well. It's very adjustable. It has a lot of unique options that, you know, most cars don't have, and that might help us on this crazy track.
Is there a date that we could maybe hopefully save?
Well, I know
up
you
for?
can pre-order it on AMain right now. I don't know the exact date, but I'm assuming it's within, you know, the next 30 days or 2 months or whatever. So
shortly, yeah.
Yeah, but you'll be able to see it in action here. I'm sure we'll get some photos of it, and there's a lot of our whole team's running it. So I'm sure hopefully we have a good showing.
Now that's the cool part, that the whole team's actually running it, not just two guys or three guys. You know, like you guys all have the car.
Yeah, I mean, it's a team, you know,
Yeah.
and if we're not running the same thing, how do we all get better? How do we be the best we can be? So yeah, you know, Yokomo really worked hard, busted their butts getting this car done, and
this race,
and making enough parts for everybody to run it, and that's good. That's awesome.
Yep. So there we go, guys. A little quick exclusive interview with Ryan Maifield, now the two-wheel drive IFMAR World Champion. So stay tuned for the rest of the four-wheel portion of the IFMAR Worlds here in Xiamen, China. And yeah, stay tuned. Thanks a lot.